Okay, we're going though. Um, so welcome again. We are with
Welcome to
the
Everyday Vibes with the
Sunderkids,
Sunderkids.
everyday vibes,
Vibing every
and
day.
yeah. So last week we talked about the Ozette Loop Peninsula. I get Ozette Triangle. Shit, I forgot the name.
Scaring off bears and spending a night on the beach.
Yeah, and a not so cool as usual New Year's Eve evening, but very grounding, humbling, and
Very
just
humbling, very grounding, of course, yes.
yeah. So with that, actually, I would say that story, and it's life. It's what happened to us. um,
hmm
that was the catalyst of so many things. Because one, I mean, you have a near death experience, and I mean, we could have probably not died. I mean, it wasn't.
We weren't in complete mortal danger, but it's enough. It's an emergency situation. We called emergency services.
We got
We
nine one
spent the
one, man.
night on a. It was the dead of winter. There were bears in the area.
And
You
then we learned
know,
there's cougars. I mean, like we were going through some shit.
and it's dark for a long time, and
Oh,
we had some
I think it's
time to
yeah,
sit there and talk. So that's what we did, and we
yeah,
had to get really to the crux of the biscuit on this one and
yeah,
figure out what to do from here. You can't really go much lower than spending
no.
a night in the wilderness.
Well, okay, I forgot to add last week. We can go lower. We can be trash.
Oh, for
Um,
sure, but
I mean, yeah. So I would like to add to the story. I forgot to mention.
please do. There are a few details we
There are a
forgot
few
last
details.
week,
Like
just
we
saying.
listen to ourselves, and it's like, oh man, man, we said a lot, but we're like still like, man, that's a crucial detail. Like for one, okay, so of all things, our phones went out, the lights went out, the world went out. It felt like, but the only thing that stayed completely lit for us the entire evening and morning until we literally got to the car. I think it was like a relief time. Um, the nicotine vape and the weed vape, both vapes all night.
Life
And
change, like life saving,
like yes, like
unfortunately,
that
but like
nicotine
straight up.
and adrenaline, and then you're like, whoo,
Yeah,
baby,
yeah.
And then we
It
were
was a little
warm.
bit of warmth. Yeah, that was
And
the
then
good
the
important
calming, as
thing.
much as we had like flour, it was nice to just like, I mean, we were up all night
Yeah, the
long.
adrenaline is the cold, and then both of our legs seizing up. You're in one spot. You can't
Yeah.
really move because you have a shoe or a water ball as a pillow. You got
Mm,
blankets everywhere. You're only
yeah.
on a 2.5 foot, 3 foot wide air pad. You can't really swap sides.
No, 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 no.
So
Yeah, it's not like, hey, you want to spoon the other way? It's like, shut the
no,
fuck up.
that
You
means I'd have to
just
get
did.
up. I'd have to expend energy.
Yeah, it was
All the
not. And it's
things.
like, it's dark. I think the biggest takeaway too is just like, light is so important. Like
Oh,
shelter is very
incredibly.
important as well, but like the concept of just like sunshine, it's kind of crazy to me to just be like completely take. I can't imagine to be blind.
Yeah.
I would
Oh
lose my
no.
mind.
Yeah, and I mean, besides fire, Thomas Edison only it was only about 100, 200 years ago that the light bulbs were invented.
Nut cell,
Not so. I mean, we had
Like,
fire for a long time,
and
but
yeah,
you can't really light fires on a wet beach. So
yeah, like you got to come up with that. Like candles is one thing, and I saw the other day like how they put like nails and candles to like when they drop, and you'd hear that, and that's like an alarm clock.
yep,
That shit's
yep.
whack. I mean, to think, mom used to come in. We never had alarm clocks until college hit, because
hmm
mom would walk in and go, "Brittany, time to rise and shine.
hmm
Matthew, time to rise and shine." Anyways, we've come a long way. Had to learn how to use alarm clocks, just like the other people.
But anyway, so back to Ozette.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Reel
So
it
the
in.
the the uh the vapes were the only things that stayed
They
alive.
survived.
They survived.
And they helped us
Electronics
survive.
that survived
They
the whole
definitely
night
hurt my heart for the rest of the, like, a long time. It
for
was
sure.
it was like adrenaline and nicotine and weed. It was just like, whoa, a big needed to take place, you know.
For sure. For sure. And then on the way back, remember what happened? We're
No.
freaking okay.
Just being
Well,
honest.
I remember very distinctly
Okay.
because
Take it
we're
away.
driving back, and on the way in on this little tiny highway, there was two gravel sections. And so on the way in, they have some signs that say gravel section ahead. Okay, cool. Slow down real good. And there are massive potholes, but we
Oof.
get through them, and it's fine. On the way back,
Oh, yeah.
all right, we 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 come up to the first one. Very very bad signage because there were some trees in front of that sign. I remember on the right, but uh, slammed on the brakes. Was able to miss those potholes, and then freaking Brittany says, "Oh, I'm so glad we missed the potholes." And I just kept thinking, "Oh, I have nothing to knock wood on. Oh my gosh, we have one more section." Yeah. And we keep going, and then boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
Oh man. And
you feel it.
I don't have a jack in my car for the wheels. I have an extra spare
Yeah.
tire, great, but I don't have a jack to
Yeah.
actually do that. So if that had actually popped, oh man.
Oh,
But
and like we were on a lot of flat tires. I mean, Christmas Day, we dealt with
yeah,
our flat tire and another person's flat. We had like a flat tire day.
we
It was
had two
weird.
flat
But
tires.
we couldn't have another flat tire day. We did not need no one flat tires.
Yeah. So I mean, oh man, but my
Yeah.
steering wheel was at a 45-degree angle for the rest of the ride, so I couldn't just relax on that 5.5 hour drive with
Oh my
my
god.
bunk tight leg. No, I had to be actively driving, like holding
Yeah.
the steering wheel and
He's
trying to
like,
make
you think
sure
I
it
need to
goes
get this
straight,
fixed?
and it, oh my gosh.
Like I can't
Um,
afford this.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
couldn't
yeah,
afford it. So I just for the month of January after this all happened, I didn't use my car. I just walked everywhere. And
that's good.
luckily I had no friend events really in January. I
That
think there
is
was like
good.
oh no, there was the one um Nick's trip out at Lake Chelan. Uh
Yeah, so
but
that's out there.
but
Dang.
so it wasn't until I told mom in February that, hey, yeah, this is also what happened on our way home, and she's like,
Yeah,
no, you have to get that fixed, or else it'll make
yikes.
way worse problems. You
Mm,
don't want that to come apart when you're driving.
yeah.
So they gave me the go ahead to try to get it fixed. Of course, I went to a tire alignment place. Not a tire alignment issue at all. It is actually bent to shit into different places where the ball bearings were stuck in on
Oh,
both the back wheels and the
Jesus.
front wheels, and they couldn't actually
Okay.
unscrew it without anything. So I had to
Okay.
take it into another place.
Cool,
eighteen
cool,
hundred
cool, cool, cool.
dollars.
Yikes.
That was the most
Woo!
expensive Airbnb holiday trip of nothing that I've ever taken. I gotta
Yeah,
tell you,
we did not
for
receive anything
sure.
but
Oh
a
my
slap in
gosh.
the face from the universe. But that's okay, you know.
Ugh.
We're coming out ahead.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
trying to at least. You know,
Kick
we're
them when they're up,
tripping
kick them when they're
through
down.
life. We're just tumbling and strolling.
Or yeah, we're
But
tripping hard.
you know, that's life. Así es la vida. But I would say, definitely a catalyst for what or how we live life now, right? So, first of all, what's like the first thing you did coming home from the trip, except hug mom and dad? Like when you were like sat down, it's like, okay, what do I got to change? What'd you change? What'd you do?
Well, first of all, I wrote down. I spent the next weekend writing down everything and all of my memory about this whole weekend.
Oh yeah,
So, and I encouraged you to do that. So I wrote about 14 pages in
yeah.
my thing. I went
I wrote 4 more
hard.
pages.
But
It
of
was
course
too
I'm
much.
unemployed, so I had
Yeah,
time.
no
So
worries.
yeah, I mean mainly I slept for a while. It was a lot of sleeping, but
You
I
changed out
did
the batteries.
changed out all the batteries.
Timing, light, people, light
Like changed out
batteries.
all the batteries, made sure to put the
Batteries are tight.
hairspray back into my backpack,
Oh, good, good, good,
and
good,
then
good.
and then I wrote down the 2023 goals that we were talking about onto little 11 by 17 posters, and now I
Yeah,
have 5 or 6 of them printed, and then staring me in my face, all my goals,
every day.
what we're doing,
Every day.
2023 every day. Yeah,
All day.
all day.
All day.
There are bears out there, people. There are bears out there that want you to not create, and we gotta create. So,
We gotta create. We gotta spread the great word that like
oh my
life
gosh,
is so. It should be so much cooler than I feel like. Like I don't know. Back in the day, I used to just live for the weekend, and that is toxic in my opinion. It just feels like you're going so hard during the week. I mean, like I worked corporate job for Kiewit, and it was great, and it was just like a lot all at once, right? And then you get home and you want to do absolutely nothing, or
uh-huh.
you want to go out and blow off some steam. I like separated who I was. You just lose yourself and you're trying to be this other person. And I feel like through life, and obviously Peace Corps, certain things like deals, and then this experience, it was just like freaking a why do we
Why?
play
What are we doing?
this is dumb.
We're on a freaking hamster wheel of life, and no, we gotta,
We
we
could have
gotta
had
go.
bears gnawing our faces off.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
could have been done for. And probably not, but maybe. Who knows, man? Who knows? But
They would have gone after the Safeway cookies first. Let's be honest.
let's be honest. They were delicious. And you know what? I don't know if I told Matthew this, but I did. So first,
No, you were Namen.
well, I was nomming a little bit, but at one point, Matthew's like, "Don't eat any food because like the bears can smell." And then he's like, "Well, conserve the food, but like don't." It's like, "Nah." I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what you want to do." And he went to go collect bushes and branches,
The pine trees, yeah.
and I was pissed at him, and I shoved down an entire cookie.
Good.
Because I thought, you know what? I got another pack in the car. If we make it back to the car, we did make it back to the car, and we
Of
did
course.
consume those cookies. But I had that. I felt like I had the power to eat the cookie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyways, that didn't matter. But those little details that we said we forgot. That's just
Yeah. And so basically, I mean, one of the main things that Brittany determined for me, and has been encouraging me to do is just go back to school. Like,
yeah,
this corporate America bullshit's not quite working out for you, not quite doing what it has been described to do. And so,
yeah,
yeah, time to go back to school
yeah,
and really figure out the passion and
yeah.
execute on the passion.
And do something you love. You love to learn. You like
I
to
love to
listen.
learn,
I mean,
love
like you would
history.
go to classes that you weren't registered for in
I
college.
did indeed do that to a couple history classes because they fit in my schedule, but they wouldn't allow me to register because it
Like,
was too many credit hours.
oh my nerd. Fucking
But it was the best thing because I never had to take any tests. And whenever he had passed out quizzes, I would just hand all the papers to the guy behind me
nerd.
and not take one. And he'd be like,
Ah,
what's going on? Like,
like,
huh,
he
I'm
doesn't
just
even
here to
go
listen. I'm just here to listen. He doesn't even go here.
here. Damn. But you like knowledge. So it's like, why not? And okay, here's the thing. I was never destined to be a school child. I went to college and it was very fun. First of all, I went to 3 different undergrad universities. I would
Hmm,
say.
hmm.
I started out at Oregon State. I wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. And so I got out. It was amazing. And then the parents were like, you know what? Out of state tuition is very
Oh, it's
expensive.
pretty expensive.
You get to come home or like take a year off. And I was
Yank.
like, I'm
One
going
of
back.
those shepherd bulls.
So then like through my laziness, I did not apply, and I was like pissy, I was like, oh, why is this happening?
Yeah.
And like, what? I'm coming home from Oregon. Like, I escaped Nebraska, and then now I'm like being shipped back. That pissed me off. And I'm young. And I rode my freshman year, and so that was very
Yeah,
cool.
you
I made
did things.
friends. Now I'm like having to start over. So then I missed the entrance to UNL, so I have to go to UNO. So like, oh man, but like I didn't want to live at home, so poor mom and dad had to pay for housing at UNO.
You
I
know.
really feel bad for just like I don't know the concept of money until I'm sorry, I'm 30. But okay, so I went to UNO and then I went to UNL because I'm like, I need to get to the big time. I gotta get, to the football, everything. Meh, meh. So then, of course, my trimester school of Oregon State does not transfer to my semester
Semester.
schools.
Oh gosh.
And so everything just is like an elective. So I never took one elective my undergraduate whole career. Not one at all.
Really?
Yeah, because all of my classes at Oregon State ended up being 2 credit hours each. And so I took Spanish. I took a 6 credit business course. It was intense. I get like 2.5, 3 credits, like bullshit, and just like crazy. So it was really sad. And then that's another
Yeah.
waste of money. And so, like, damn. So I was in school 5 years. Okay, great. Had a cumulative GPA of 2.72. Okay. So I can't get a job after Peace Corps. It's the pandemic. Okay, what's the next step? Maybe grad school. There's a Coverdale program. Okay, cool.
And you get what, money for
Yeah,
doing
stipend,
the Peace
tuition.
Corps,
I don't want to pump it up the most, because
but
like,
like a little bit.
yeah, it's a great program.
It's through
It's
the
cool.
programs.
It's through the program. You had to be in the Peace Corps. Now AmeriCorps, which is pretty cool. So, anyways, at Western Illinois. So I get into Western. I applied to a few other schools, but Western's the one. And so I'm like, cool. I got in, right? And then I get this letter that's like, hey, that GPA of yours is below our actual thing that we need it to be. You have to petition to get into this school. And I'm like, holy shit. I had to get in front of all these people now that I know. Like, I'm like friends with these professors, which is hilarious to think I had to be like, hi, I'm Brittany. I wasn't I was a social butterfly. I really enjoyed football games and working at Victoria's Secret during my undergraduate career. And now I have a brain. I've started to read. Like, trust me, I did not read. You guys, like, I was illiterate as
I saw it in her. Well, I just say I
yeah,
saw the light and I encouraged
yeah,
the thinking.
yeah.
That's the
Matthew
thing.
was like, yeah, get out,
We
expand
got to
your
get your
mind.
brain. We got to get your brain working so
Yeah,
we can melt minds.
yeah, so that's when Matthew and I really kind of became friends as like siblings. So it was like the college time where he's like, expand your mind. I was like,
Yeah.
Matthew's so smart. Like, whoa, my brother's
Nah.
so cool. And anyways, all boils down to I am getting my master's degree in 2 months. I gotta write.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Just kill you guys.
Hi,
It's
hi, hi,
all
hi,
it's
hi,
chill,
hi, hi.
chill. Hey, but super jazzed about it. And then my program ends in July, so I will have done the thing that Matthews wanted to do forever before I even thought I ever would. I really thought I'd never go to school, never back to school. Like, I literally was like throwing away books, like, ugh. And then Matthews not going to school, and it's like, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, I was not destined for this. You were destined for this. What is going on? What?
So, I mean, the goal has always been to, have a good, solid job in order to make some money, in order to start my own
That is
stuff.
very money driven.
Well,
Yes.
I would just like to be successful at some
Yeah,
point.
no, that's not bad. I'm just saying.
I would like to not live
Art-driven,
paycheck to
have some money
paycheck
to it.
since 18.
Yeah.
Anyway, but in order to have my own business, entrepreneurship is a passion of mine, and then I'd be able to go to grad school and not have to take out hella student loans.
True.
But didn't quite work out that way. So here we are, and bring on that student debt. I'd rather just learn.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Absolutely, fuck it. Like, I need things in my brain, and I'm gonna pay some money to do it.
Yeah, I just feel like now, if not now, then when? I mean, truthfully, that is the question.
Shout out to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Hey.
It's a
Um,
great song.
but for
But
real,
yeah,
if
no,
not
if
now,
not,
then when?
yeah,
So,
seriously.
it's like, let's do this podcast. Let's apply to school. Let's do something different because
Hmm.
why not? Like, even if we fail, it is a lesson. I'm learning to just, and the more I release, I guess, release this like construct of just a box and like having to fit inside of it, I
Hmm.
feel like I learn more about different topics and I meet new people that I'm like, whoa, what
Yeah.
an interesting avenue that would be. Like, what, like, one, why am I in Effingham, Illinois? I do believe things happen for a reason. I am not going to go to Podunk, Illinois for no fucking reason. And I feel like last year in Macomb was amazing. I met really great people. I restarted school. I mean, that's like very empowering in itself. Like I
Oh,
felt
for sure.
I've never felt as smart as I did last year. Reading and then writing papers, though I'm not the greatest. Shout out to Kiana for just like boxing absolutely everything in my mind. But it's like
But it feels good being sharp, right?
it feels good to be sharp. It feels good to feel educated. And
Yeah.
it's so empowering to just, and it's not like it's like condescending towards others. It's just like, wow, knowledge is
You
cool.
you put in the time to gain the
Mm,
knowledge,
hmm
and the knowledge plus more time is wisdom.
hmm. Oh, what an equation. Look at that. That's the math we need out here. But for real.
No, straight up, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it is
yeah.
empowering us, and it is inspirational, Brittany, just so
Mm,
you know, like, inspiring to me to,
mm,
like, get my ass back into gear because
mm,
I think I've been sleeping, and then
yeah,
for me, it's a combination of me knowing what I want to do, and
yeah.
then knowing that equation for happiness and fulfillment for a
Mm,
long time, and then not living it and not
mm,
executing on it
mm,
puts me in a spiral downwards. So it's
mm.
like, no,
Yikes.
gotta reverse that,
Yep.
spiral up, you
Spiral
know,
up.
spiral up and do the things that we want to do, and really attack those creative passions. And I think it's the creativity part
Yeah.
and the creation.
Yeah.
Because right now, the world is consuming more than it's creating,
Mm,
and that's a horrible combination. We
mm.
gotta we gotta flip that. I know for my life, I need to create more than I consume.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
kind of my main mission.
I like that.
You
And
like
what's your
that?
current motto right now?
Oh man, that is kind of the motto.
Okay.
Or what are you saying? What are you
I'm
thinking?
thinking
Is
the
it some other
vision.
thing?
I'm going with the
Oh yeah,
vision.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I mean, I have a couple mottos. This is
Oh, okay.
this is written on my 2023 Let's
Okay.
fucking go poster. Turn off the television, live the vision.
There it is,
That
folks.
is what I am doing 2023 and going on.
One, two, three.
Turn
Whoa.
off the television, live the vision. And
All
that
right. Hold you
for
to it.
me really is more of a YouTube. Don't get sucked into YouTube and Instagram and
Mm.
Reddit. It's more of a media, but
Understood.
the phrase works so much better. Turn off the
Yeah.
television, live the
Okay.
vision. Like
So,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
It's got a ring to it. Okay, what was
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
what are your other mottos? Are you just living by them words?
Yeah, I mean, so right now, 2023, let's fucking go. I'm looking at it right now above my computer.
All
So
right,
grad school.
yeah.
So what I want to do, marine archaeology. I've always said if I could do anything, I would want to do underwater archaeology. That just sounds so badass.
And
And
is
just
that like treasure hunting? Like what are you doing?
so yes and no. So a lot of it has been in the last couple decades,
Yeah.
mainly geared on shipwrecks, but
Ooh.
with climate change and changing water lines and
Mm.
sea levels,
Okay.
certain coastal lines will be swept up by the sea. So there's been cities in Greece and Egypt and Israel that are right off the coast that are sunken. You know,
Whoa. Like Atlantis.
yeah,
Woo.
there's sections of rivers and lakes that were once above water that are now underwater, and then there's paleo things like obviously the world has changed in the last 300,000 years,
What?
So there's a lot of cool stuff. But I mean, any archaeology, I'm gonna have to do kind of both. So there's that. We got Cosmic Spruce, Cosmic Spruce playing cards. One of the first things I
Ooh.
did before I actually told Brittany in my month of living a lie and or hurt myself
Living the
for it.
Britney line. We got to get to how the parents took it too. We're
Yeah,
making our way there. Don't worry.
but I designed some new playing cards. I love doing my playing card designs.
Matthew and I play a lot of speed,
Speed,
like
yeah, and Rummy Cooper. That's our
ungodly amount of
games.
speed.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Come
like
at
playing
us.
cards, so yeah, come the fuck on.
But then it's guitar, piano, blues, Captain Sun Fu, Psytrance set. Oh, so good. Let's go. Camping, hiking, mountaineering. I got Mount Rainier Expedition late
Hey,
2024.
okay.
But man, 2024 is 2023, which is now.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
some pocket tees, draw some maps. I want to read at least 6 books. I got my daily 20 pull-ups, 20 ab wheels. I need to categorize my records. And it says, come on, do the dishes, turn off the television, live the vision, get it done, just do it.
Okay, we got stack on stack on stack.
Stacks on stacks on stacks. But man, it stares
Okay.
at me. And the dishes part really helps cleaning my making my kitchen
Oh,
actually organized. I know
yes.
Brittany really
I will say right now, like currently, literally right now, my dishes are piled and it's disgusting. I
Brittany,
did
don't
just
live like
make
me.
Oh, no, 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 no. I will do it before I go to bed tonight because I made this massive thing of African peanut soup. I call it a stew, actually. It's the second time I've made it. I really love it. But
The stew.
it's a stew.
Stew.
But like I've got tons of dishes in the thing. But usually it is spotless in this apartamento. Literally, like the bed. That's my number one thing. If you ever sleep here, sleep over, make the bed, or help me make the bed. That's very kind. But
I'm not good at
when
my
you
bed.
wake up in the morning and you make your bed, that literally sets the tone for the day. Like there's scientific research, like your brain's like, okay, organized. And then you can carry on with the day. And I feel like having a very neat apartment, and trust me, mom would tell you, my room was a tornado of a thing. And I still
Pigsty.
lit pigsty. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard those words a few times. I had a rag mop for hair, a pigsty food, and I was just boinking in it. but but I was organized by piles. I knew if you asked me what
Yeah. Yeah,
anything in my room
piles.
was, I knew. And right now, I mean, everything has its place, but it's very much that now that it's my own place and I live here and I,
Mm-hmm.
you know, do life here alone, it's like just have it clean and it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, especially when working from home, having a clean apartment for productivity, just inherently, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
So I really had to try to do it, but for me, it's hard because, yeah.
Yeah, you're also going to get on a routine soon, which is pretty good.
Oh my
I
gosh, I'm
have
so
like the
excited about that.
best morning routine. That's one thing that like having a steady job, that is the nice thing. And there's certain like the artsy avenue that would be like cool is like, wow, man, they stay out late and I go to bed so early, like 9:30 bedtime, and I'm up at 6:21. 6:21 is what my clock is. And I am literally up. This morning, I didn't even wake up to my alarm. It just like I woke up
Yep.
and it was like 6:20. I was like sick. And then boom. And then I get up, I take my swig of salt water, I go do my Pilates, or I do this sexy dance videos. And then I do like make my breakfast stuff. And then I get my coffee ready to go. And then I take a shower. And then
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I'm taking, and I'm drying off, I have this routine down, boom, boom, boom. By the time I leave for work, it's always the same time. And then the rest of the day is a crapshoot. I have no, like,
Yeah.
but the morning
You
is,
got that morning routine.
and it's like, dude, that really kicks off the day. So no matter what I do in the future, I do want to make sure a routine and structure in the morning is like vital to me.
So that's the thing about
Mm,
everything that we are trying to accomplish. It is
mm,
consistency, and that is
mm.
where dad and his stupid and amazing daily discipline comes into play,
He's
where it's
incredible.
literally consistency on anything. 10 minutes a day is
And
10 minutes a day. If you keep doing that, it adds up real fast.
adds up.
And even just having a solid, consistent routine, that's just awesome. For
Yeah,
me, I've been usually I get to wake up with the sun,
yeah,
but I do wake up with the sun, which means for Seattle in the summer, that can get to 6 or 5:45 in the morning.
yeah. It's
Um,
early.
but in the month of March, when the time changes, that's when, like, for a couple weeks I'm up at 7 or 7:15
So
versus my usual 6:15 6, because the sun comes up later.
you
But
really got to invest in an eye mask. They just are wonderful.
but I also enjoy that I wake up with the sun. It,
Yeah,
it
it is
is I
natural.
would much rather have my circadian rhythm to the
Yeah.
sun than an alarm clock. So yeah. And I know for a fact that no matter what, I'm gonna wake up at 7, max 8.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry that I'm gonna be, oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock, and I've missed
Yeah.
everything.
That
No.
never happens.
No, I'm more worried about waking up an extra 2 hours early
Yeah.
and then just having to sit there, drink
Yeah.
coffee in the morning, and just, like. But
Play,
that's when you got to do some stretches,
yeah,
practice the
play the
guitar.
guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, wake up
You've
the
got like a
neighbors.
morning jam sesh, I feel like,
I
every
do have a
day.
morning jam session, pretty much like an hour a day, every single morning
Really?
for the last. Oh my gosh, yeah! I just sit there and go until my arm hurts. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That's your
until
tell
yeah.
all, your arm hurts?
Yeah, so it's either the shoulders on my right arm or
Okay.
my ring finger on my left hand,
Ooh,
because
yikes.
that's what has to do the most
Twiddling
stretching.
on that twit.
So yeah, and then my pinky is not nearly as flexible as it used to be. So
Yeah.
um,
Ooh, finger power.
finger power, those are
Yeah.
on the docket that
Yeah.
I need to
Oh,
get
finger
back into the
power was
piano.
piano books for us. Yeah, if you guys ever want to watch us play piano as young whippersnappers, just Google me or YouTube me.
Eventually, we'll have a whole episode where we dive deep into
Oh,
our music history and piano, but that's not this time. This time was supposed to be about
Jobs,
uh,
Jobs, Jobs, Jobs,
jobs, and
Jobs.
Ozette's.
Not Steve Jobs.
No, so
But yeah, so you're on the Catalyst, and
so
so
so we're on the Catalyst. It
mhm,
is Creative Central,
Creative
and
Central.
so with that, my main mission for the last 3 months has been, one, doing a lot of research into archaeology, and all the schools and all the professors,
Hmm.
in order to try to write, the statement of purpose and get
Yeah,
references,
school
as
stuff.
well as, yeah, cool stuff. I've been,
It's
practicing the
school stuff,
guitar.
but
I started my pocket t-shirt business up again because, I needed something. So
you're
with that,
smashing it.
smashing it, I made a whole slew of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard
Oh,
pocket
they're
t-shirts,
so tight.
totally bootlegged, but
Dude,
they are freaking
cosmicshirts.com is
sweet.
dope. We'll
Yeah, so I had an Etsy site for a while. That got shut down for no reason, without warning, and without any communication from them since. So built my own website, and but yeah, I have a full
so
stack of
yeah,
an extra 200 some pocket t-shirts. I don't know. It's just been a cool, awesome couple months where,
yeah.
we're starting this, and it's like Brittany's been having this idea about starting a podcast, and
Hot minute.
for a couple of weeks she was talking about it as if she was trying to convince me that it was happening. And I was like, Brittany, the
Ready, ready, ready,
moment you
ready.
said it, Brittany, the moment you said it, I was already sold. This is a thing that we should have been doing for a while, and
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah.
Um, so
I'll be.
it's not a will this if this happens. It's a
Yeah,
let's figure out the steps to make this happen and just go for it. Why not?
yeah.
Time keeps on slipping,
Slipping,
slipping
slipping into
into
the
the
future.
future.
Oh,
Time keeps on slipping.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it
okay,
does though.
so yeah, no, it flipping does. It really does. But it's like, ugh, I'm trying to be more present, I guess is what my creativity is so but I'm doing a lot more creative stuff. I'm doing the same thing. I'm turning off my camera or not my camera, you know.
TV,
My
the
computer. There we
Netflix, the
go.
computer.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's like
let's be analog, not digital.
let's be analog, not digital. And you know me, I am broader. I do old people things. I'm listening to my records. I'm laying on the floor. I mean, those are
Heck
pastimes.
yeah.
These are great. And I've also been, so Dallas got me the sickest, like transportable watercolor pen, right? And it's got a pipette on the back, and you just
Pipeta.
pipetta, and you just keep going into your different colors after, and it's got like two pens with it. So I'm drawing all this stuff. So I did all this like cool feminist artwork, and I was feeling it, and I was like, man, these are it.
Feminine
Also,
energy. Hell yeah.
feminine energy. I'm trying to tap more into that. I'm trying to be more, and I mean,
It's springtime.
it's springtime. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. It's not mating time.
Well, it's a rebirth season.
Oh,
Just,
yes.
you know.
Like, whoa there, champ. Yeah, we don't need babies up in here. Oh, yes.
Just
What?
There's typical normal tropes in society and mythology and stuff.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah,
keep
yeah.
going.
Cool.
Good job, woman power,
Yeah,
Brittany.
thank you.
Fucking
Feminine
crushing
energy,
it. Let's go.
feminine energy. But you know, I'm drawing all these things, and then these are on cards that Dallas got me as well, and they're watercolor postcards. So sick.
Yeah.
And then for International Women's Day, I sent some like cards out. And it was like, oh, okay, and they're like very, you know, funky looking poses, weird shit.
Yeah.
But so it felt like this cool little like passionate weird. I was like loving though. So all of this artwork's coming out, and it feels really good, but it's like, how do you do, like, what's the career, you know? And it's like, well, I hate the word career even. Like, what? And then it's like, I feel like people think job is kind of derogatory. Then it equals hourly wage. And honestly, now I'm like, fuck the salaried life. It's not
The career is dead. There's no such thing as a career for anybody under the age of 40.
Right? I really don't think
no
like
company,
you're not on this one path.
Yeah, no company's going to keep you now for more than 5-10 years, and even if then you're kind of lucky, but they'll still cut you at any point. You can't really rely on any company to look out for you like you do for the company.
Yeah, nowadays it's not so much like you're loyal to
Anyway.
them. I mean, there's just like life is life, and money is tight, and things are different. So it's like, how do we find these jobs? Like, is it possible to have your dream job, to be able to do what you want to do? And it's all, to me, dependent on money. And everyone's like, well, the money will come. The money will come. And I'm putting that out there. Please, money, come.
Yeah, please, money. Money.
I do the cinnamon on my door.
I want to pay for school. I want to pay for things and travel and experiences. And I have people's weddings and things to go to.
We need money. So, but it's like, damn, how, like, this is why poverty is cyclical. You can't fucking get out of it. And it's like, man, if only I had this one check to do this, you'd be like, let's go. Moaz, okay.
Let's go.
But
anyway, like, still, you can't bank on that.
Whatever. So, like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? And then, I mean, for me, like, okay, I'm unemployed. We've determined that next step, I got to apply for grad school ASAP. Maybe get into the fall. And then what do I figure? What the hell am I doing all summer? What am I gonna do? Do I have to lie to all these like companies for a marketing position, for a technical recruiter, and after all these tech layoffs, like, hey, I'm definitely gonna be so great, and it's like, man, I have zero confidence, even though all of these jobs that I've had are pretty straightforward and I was able to do them. I just kind of have the wind kicked out of me,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So it was like, oh man, what do I even do?
What are you gonna do?
So we doubled down on us. what
Yeah.
makes us fulfilled, and that's what we're
Yes.
doing right here.
Happiness. Like what I feel like the goals have shifted from being, what makes me successful, what makes me like appreciated in my field, to what makes me want to live. Like what when I come home, I
What's your
feel like,
purpose?
what is my purpose? Because if I am
What
spending
makes you fulfilled?
75% of my freaking life at work, it better be on something good.
It better be fulfilling.
Oh yeah, no way am I just like, oh, it feels,
Because
it's so
the other
restrictive.
half of your life you're asleep. So it's
You're
like,
asleep, which
okay.
I love. I absolutely
There's
love
so
to.
many hours of the day that it's like not at your employer or not asleep, and then what you're supposed to do all of your life events and make friends and actually have
And travel the
relationships and
world.
do things, and
And then,
gosh,
yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, well, this is why you retire. Bull fucking shit.
no, why
Number
would you do like,
one,
oh man, that's such a rat
oh,
race
the
until
worst. So you're gonna
60
wait till
fucking
you're
years.
fucking
Ah,
old to go to Europe and walk
yeah.
around? Like you can't club when you're old as shit. No, no.
And again, we could have gotten eaten by bears. Like, oh God. Like, I
We're
do
living
not
in
have
the
40,
today. We're
50
living in
years.
the
I
present.
I would like to go camping again. And I would like to go camping in some wilderness again. And I would
Yes.
like to do that before I'm 60.
Mm.
So, because
Hmm.
oh yeah, bears are out there.
Also, people are getting shot right and left in this country. Who knows what is like up for tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah.
Seriously, there could be some freak accident. It's just, oh, like, why does it feel like it's worth it, but it's not worth it? Like life is so cool, and there's so many things that it's like
Uh-huh.
there's gotta be there's gotta be another reasoning to this. Like, why is life so cool and I'm not able to touch on that? And most people aren't. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what?
So I mean, for me, I'm more of like an existentialist, absurdist. So the life and everything is absurd.
Mm.
Life inherently has no meaning except for you have to find your meaning. That's the kicker. And so, but a lot of people shrink at that.
Yeah.
I've shrunk at my own. What
Well, it's
makes me happy?
terrifying.
You have to figure
Also,
out your
like,
own purpose and then
yeah,
own it.
and then own it, and then
And
be
then
like,
own it.
oh, like I don't know exactly what my purpose is, but I do feel like my purpose is to bring life to other situations. I think I have some sort of energy that attracts human beings, and they just, I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. And I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, you're just so
But you got
real.
to explore it.
Like, and I got to explore, but what career, not career, we're going to fuck the word career, but what job slash me, what am I going to get
Occupation.
paid to be Brittany Sunderman, just a lit energy? Hi, I'm Brittany. You want to hire me to be your energy source for the day? Suck me dry. Like, what monetary benefit you know what I mean? What am I gonna do? Work at a hostel forever and just provide the vibes, bro?
Yeah.
No.
No.
What pays the bills but also gives fulfillment? That's not I don't know. I guess Moaz, man. We just
So yeah, we're waiting for GameStop Moaz to happen. Mother of all short squeezes, which is always tomorrow, people. Always tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you have any ideas, you can go to Sunderkids.com and send your Brittany Sunderman career occupation ideas.
Please.
Anything helps because we're putting it out in the universe.
Yeah.
We just need creativity to pay the bills.
Creativity to pay the bill. Like Sasha brought up, like I could be not your like regular therapist, a non-licensed, just giving like advice, listening to you. But then like, where's the limitation on that? When do I get like a suicidal caller that I'm like, I'm not trained for this. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like I'm providing a service until what point? So,
and then you have to defer them to a real professional, and you're like,
but then that's on your conscience, and it's like, well, fuck. I just want to be like, sorry, dog. Like, hope you're doing good.
But
Yeah, no, I would love to hear from anybody who's got a thought process about my future.
Yeah, we're still determining it for Brittany.
Yes,
Um,
Matthew, though.
Matthew, I did the old school way. I did, how do you do this instead of throwing darts at the freaking internet and,
Yeah,
writing these stupid resumes and
yeah,
cover letters. I started, when you're down on the luck, people always say, you go to the gym. Well,
yeah.
going to the gym is going to the pool for me.
Hey.
So I started going to the pool and
Mm.
swimming. And then about a week in, one of the days I went in, lo and behold, staffing issues. There's no
Ooh.
lifeguards.
Hey.
And so they're like, I'm like, oh, hey, do you guys need lifeguards? Like,
Ooh.
I am pretty desperate at this point. I have no prospects and
Yeah,
only about 2 months worth of unemployment that still does not cover minimum amount of bills.
yeah,
So, I'll take anything at this
yeah. Why
point.
not?
And so she's like, we're always looking for lifeguards. So I'm like, sweet. So I go home and I go and look on the employment thing. There's lifeguard positions as well as aquatics coordinator and then aquatics manager.
Okay, and we are swimmers. We are swimming family. We are lifeguard certified since we were like
I'm
15.
I'm a water person. We're water people,
Yeah,
and again, I mean, I'm thinking my end goal here is underwater archaeology,
yeah,
and I'm able, to tell them that. But I make this resume, I apply, and then I'm going in every day, so they know
yeah.
who I am,
True.
and so it's like, oh, Brad, he's gonna talk to you.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, the
this guy's
blonde kid
swimming
that's
over
swimming
there.
right now is the one that applied. Okay,
He's
so I
swimming
walk
daily,
out. Yeah,
consistency.
yeah. So I walk out and he's like, "Are you Matt?" I'm like, "Yep." Hi.
Sick.
You got some time to talk? Okay, yeah, sure. So I get dressed, go out. We chit chat a bit. He's like, "Well, I don't know what your life vision is right now, but you apply for this, but we have the aquatics manager position open. You do have
Mm.
aquatic management experience.
Hey,
Would this be something that you'd be interested in?" And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is music to my
stars are
ear.
aligning.
Like, I can totally do this for X amount of time
Yeah,
until something or grad school
yeah,
kicks off.
yeah,
And then I was very upfront. It was kind of crazy because this is probably the most honest
yeah.
in an interview that I've ever
Because like we
been.
were talking about, those gaps. You're trying to do
Yeah.
something else. What do you say?
What do you
It's
say?
terrifying. You're like, oh,
And
I
then
should lie, right?
I have a lot of employment gaps
Yeah,
in my resume,
yeah,
and it's all marketing and then like talent coordination. So
hmm,
uh, and so with that, I'm just saying, like, here's my life plan. I want to do this. Besides that, as long as I can go home and sew some pocket t-shirts,
yeah,
draw some maps, and play
hmm,
guitar,
lit,
I'm good to go.
yeah,
I have nothing really else going on,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And as long as I'm applying for all these grad schools that are May 1st is the
yeah.
application deadline.
Oof.
So I'm on crunch.
Cutting
It's on my
it
mind
close.
constantly. I know I'm
Yeah, sorry to
gotta
stress you out. Yeah, yeah. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. Yeah.
okay. But anyway, so but and then in this interview, Brittany, I don't know if I even told you,
Okay. Here
Ellen, this gal comes in. She's part of the committee of the. There's a committee that basically oversees the pool and everything. She's from Creighton. She's a
oh yeah.
educator
What?
that graduated from Creighton. 40
Creighton's in
years
Omaha.
ago. Creighton's in Omaha, so like I'm wearing my Nebraska red shoes, my red Adidas,
Hey, Adidas.
and Adidas. And so, I'm like, yeah, like I know exactly where you're talking about. We have a whole little Omaha little thing. I'm like, yeah, from Millard North.
Yeah.
There's this other guy, and he's probably in his mid 40s, and he's just a lifeguard.
Yeah.
And he's a tuba player.
Oh,
Plays the
sick.
sousaphone and trombone.
Dude.
And so he's like, playing in a mariachi band and then another like the Seattle Orchestra and stuff. So he's talking about playing Tchaikovsky, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude!
Like literally, the stars are aligning. Like everything.
Yeah. So
Nebraska,
there's a
Creighton,
tuba player. aquatics. There's
Water,
a Creighton Omaha lady
bro.
here, like, and then she offers me
Dude,
like, oh, you want to be a substitute? You know,
dude.
$200 a day. Here's my card. You just need a
What?
bachelor degrees. We'll get you the certification. He's
Bro.
like, I don't want to like steal your, your candidate. And I'm like, okay,
Holy
like,
smokers.
and I just found it so funny because it was just because I needed to go swimming. I needed to
You
get out of
sure
my
didn't
apartment.
sleep.
I needed something physical to get my
Mhm.
head straight,
Yeah.
you know? And
So
it
what
and it
is
helped.
what is happening now then with that?
So I have accepted the employment offer of
Woo!
aquatics manager.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So that is happening. I have lifeguard training. I have to get recertified in lifeguarding and then certified in lifeguard training, like
That'd be good for
the
you.
extra certification. Yep. And
Dude,
then I have to
CPR
go.
changes often. It's good for you.
Yeah, I did make a joke about how often CPR changes in my cover letter.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
hopefully the compression rate hasn't changed too much and the song hasn't changed since I was a lifeguard.
Dude, they won't use that song. They're like, it's too fast. You need to
Yeah,
use,
yeah.
they'll give you another song.
And it's like, man, he's definitely a lifeguard if he knows that. If
Yeah,
he's
he's
that
staying
jokey. Yeah,
alive.
yeah. So
CPR.
I mean, it was just cool. Because and then the guy, he just was a total swim instructor coach guy, and
Yeah.
it's just like, man, I could learn a lot about leadership and team
Mm,
building and
good.
just like community and like relationships and talking from
Sweet.
this guy. And it seems like, oh, we're
How
gonna
old is
fly.
he, you think?
Late 30s maybe.
Okay, so
He has
older,
a
but not too much
full,
older.
yeah, not too much older, full
That's
head of
nice.
hair, active
More
guy. Yeah, I'm
than
just
you can
jealous.
say.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Oh,
mean, I
poor
was 22.
Matthew.
I was saying, "Oh man, people with full hair."
Yeah. Oh, you're so old, poor Matthew. Oh, well, dude, I'm excited for that's freaking congratulations. I think
It's
that'll
oh
be
my gosh,
lit.
a
And like feeding
relief.
into something. And then don't they have like dive at the freaking pool or something?
They have one of the Seattle dive clubs does it there. They have their own private swim club plus the normal private swim club from the
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
They have kayak polo there.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Sick.
Sick. So I'm like, oh yeah. So I mean, I told him underwater archaeology, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh man, we have the dive team. I was like, I did see that. Like, you have no idea, like, because I kept smiling, and like he was just kept, like dumping a lot of info that I'm
Yeah.
like, do I need to take notes? But then I just kept smiling,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm like geeking out. I'm just like this. Like this is just too great.
Yeah.
Like
You're vibing with
this is
everything
right.
they're saying.
Yeah, like all of this is
Okay.
stuff that one I have experience doing that I
Yeah.
loved doing,
Yeah.
and then I can do again, and then that leaves the creativity aspect for us to do this in the evenings,
Yes.
for me to then draw some maps, for me to practice the guitar,
And there's hardly any
whatever. I need to
screen time,
practice, man. Yeah, yeah, and we
You're
did
not
have little
at a
conversations
computer
about,
screen. Yeah.
it was like one of the things, you have to deal with TikToker people, teenagers making TikToks at work. I'm like, oh man, I hadn't even thought of that.
Oh yeah, didn't think of that either.
Yeah, they're making TikToks on while
TikTokers.
lifeguardings. Like,
That's
oh
so
god,
unsafe.
so unsafe. So yeah,
Slip
you're
and
gonna
fall,
have
break your head open.
some hard conversations, but yeah, it sounds like he has built a pretty solid team of
Good.
reliable
Cool.
people, all ages, as a staff, and
Dope.
yeah, I'll fit in.
I'm
But yeah,
excited
oh
for
my
you.
gosh, I'm excited because yeah, it was the old school way.
Back to
You
your
know,
roots, dog. Yeah, and it's like meeting someone at a bar and be like, "Wow, we met at a bar. Like we didn't meet online."
uh-huh.
Like that's a whole other type of relationship.
And it was
Going
just
into
because I was
somewhere
friendly
else.
talking to people,
Yes, being a
vibing.
normal freaking
Oh my
human.
gosh.
Human
Yeah.
being that speaks and like
Yep.
enjoys conversation. Who would have freaking thunk?
Yeah. And I mean, besides, going to Uber and the people in the office,
Yeah,
like once a week, twice a week,
yeah,
it's like the most amount of people
yeah.
like I've
You live
seen in a couple
alone.
of years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Besides concerts. So this will be
yeah.
very good just for myself because
Yes.
I need that
Human
social
interaction.
aspect.
Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
it's one of my, one of the energizing
Yeah,
things. Hmm.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm. Hmm.
super cool. Dude, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but then it was kind of interesting because I told the parents about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, that I was
mhm,
actually fired,
yeah.
and that was a
Oh,
whole
yeah,
fun
we got it
conversation.
here.
Just real quickly, just as we wrap this up, okay?
Okay.
So, I mean,
Because I haven't
I
heard this yet, and they
so
haven't even talked to me.
I first and foremost, I said I need to apologize to you guys. I
Mm,
have lied to you
mm,
for months, and
mm,
it has, like, eating at my heart,
mm,
and just is not a good situation.
mm.
I was let go from Uber. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, the mom's reaching over with the hands.
Oh,
Oh,
trying to order the car.
so then, I explain the situation,
Yeah.
like, oh, all these tech layoffs and everything, but I didn't quite give them the hard dates. you know, I
Mm.
just said month wise, and I was lying to Brittany, told her then, and blah 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 blah. But here's the game plan. Here's the game plan. Here's what I've been working on, and I assumed that mom had kind of suspected or knew about it because she's
Oh, that
intuitive,
woman.
super intuitive, and the truth always prevails.
The
The
truth
truth always
always.
always prevails. The
Uh,
truth always
I
prevails.
say that to myself in my like alone. I'm
Oh,
like,
it was going in my head, ringing for about 3
oh,
months
yeah.
as I was living a lie. I was like,
That's your
I'm not
mantra.
living devil.
Oh
Oh yeah,
God.
yeah. Oh god. So
You need
losing
some
more
Hail
hair than I
Marys.
need to. Yeah. And then my leg has just not been recovering, and I think it's
Yeah,
probably and I'm stretching. I do a lot of stretching and a lot
yeah,
of I have my Theragun and everything. But anyway,
yes. Eat
so
at your soul.
I'm telling them what we've got going on, and here's the website that I've built.
Yeah,
Here's this thing. And in the last month or two, the conversation had not gone to how's work. Whenever
yeah,
work was brought up, I was very short,
yeah,
distracted, move the
yeah,
conversation along.
yeah.
So kind of knew about it, didn't know about it, but then you know, hey, here's the game plan. I'm swimming, I'm doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this. And then we had to watch Ted Lasso and finish
Yeah,
eating food.
obvi-
So wrap that up,
yeah,
watch Ted Lasso, and then it was out of there. But then, a week later,
yeah,
like only a week later,
yeah.
and it was like, oh, I'm sleep. I've finally told mom about a week after full week after I finished swimming, that
Okay,
I had been swimming. Oh
okay.
my gosh, like that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, you're so good.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like, yes, 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 yes,
yeah.
yes. So, yes. So then, but then, yeah, I called them on Saturday, let
Mm.
them know the good news as they were driving down to
Woo!
P Town.
Good deal.
Um, and they're very, very excited. So
Good.
I bet you mom will go swimming at the pool at some point, and
Yeah.
get introduced to everybody. And
That woman swims like 3 days a week. Every
yep,
yeah. Whew.
yep. So
That'll be cool. All the worlds will mesh. Yeah.
all the worlds will mesh
This is
always.
definitely a better place that you will be in. And like I feel your hair is probably already growing back.
No, probably not. The chlorine probably
um,
does not help.
oh yikes, that's true.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it does help. The face being clear and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So face being clear,
Dude.
body feels great,
Adult
mind
skin.
feels sharp,
Good.
sharper.
Good.
It's a lot easier to not have intrusive thoughts when you're too tired to think.
Yes. When
So
you've
that's
seen a
what the
long,
goal
hard
is.
day of your own shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's like I don't mind the devil playground, so got to keep busy.
Keep busy. Pressure makes diamonds, baby.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So, that is what we got this week about jobs and where we're at, where we're going, and
Plus a
who
whole lot of
knows?
other things
A
that
whole
we're
lot of
talking
tangents.
about.
which
But
is who we are. You know what I'm
this
saying?
is part of it, and
Yeah,
you're just along for the ride.
you're along
We're
for
just
the vibes.
yeah, for
We
the
be
vibes,
vibing.
man.
But
Just be
yeah, if you
vibing.
really do have thoughts on like what I should do for life, or just
Thoughts,
like
recommendations,
whatever,
anything,
we are,
positivity.
yeah, sending like love and light. I'll take all of your love and light and your positive vibes and just, oh, the cozies, cozies
Uh
from
huh.
Love Loves.
But
Yeah.
let's go.
All right.
Let's get her done.
For now, enjoy the
All right, ciao
week.
ciao for now.